Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over this quick email that was sent from a subscriber dealing with the subject of the RP message really being spread around with the younger generation. Teens, 20-somethings, things like that. This guy, I'm guessing, is probably 30s, maybe 40s like me. And he's going to talk about how recently he's had some conversations with his nephews. All guys that are in their teens and other ones that are in their 20s. And guess what? They all seem to be quite familiar with a lot of things that me and other channels talk about, RP content, that type of thing. And the word is really spreading. These young guys really are aware of a lot of the BS that goes on out there, and amongst many other things. And that'll be a really good one to go over here, how he talks about this, how the young cousins know about these things. And really, hopefully, as many channels like me, our hope is that more young guys will be screwed over, basically. Become more aware of things, focus on themselves, their grind, their purpose, and not be conned by these gals nowadays where things have really been derailed, as I call things Sodom and Gomorrah 2.0. And also all you guys out there that I know full well, watch a lot of content, talk about it, send videos, send clips, send messages, let guys know about these things. Your work is paying off. So keep up the good work, keep spreading it around. But I'll just read this quick one here. I think you'll definitely enjoy it. He says here, hello SSM. I thought I'd write a message with a message of hope. I have 3 teenage male cousins. I will call them A, B, and C, plus other teenage male cousins. Plus, I know a number of 20-something guys. Dude, you got a big family. I previously heard cousin C was centering his life around a girl. I stayed out, thinking there's no talking to a teenage boy in that state. Surely enough, the girlfriend broke up with him. You make any girl the center of the universe, and it is only a matter of time before she's going to break up with you. Typically cheat, then break up with you. Well, now is a great time to talk some sense into cousin C. I generally believe the axiom that the best time to try to talk to sense into a guy about relationships is when they're not in one. So believing the time was right now. I sent a long message to cousin A, B, and C explaining a number of things that I've learned about relationships with females over the years. A lot of it is basic RP stuff. Like women say they want a guy who puts them on a pedestal, yet they don't. Live your life, female nature, decode it, etc., etc. I later then sent a few videos, including one of yours. They all thanked me for the messages. He says, teenage cousin A, and I wrote back and forth some more. It turned out they found some points I said about prenups, how to bring up having a paternity test, and a few other things new and useful. But, and here's the important part, most of what I said only reinforced things they had already heard. Hey, how about that? Marriage having bad odds, already heard it. Could end up paying for kids you're mostly not seeing, while former wives live in your house with their boyfriend, already heard that too. Hell, they already sent it with a bazillion guys around town. Women usually ending marriages, they heard that too. Put a woman at the center of your life and she'll get bored and head off like a feral cat. Already heard that and lived it. So got to vet carefully, they already figured. Cousin A then said that cousin C had already gone back to that girl that dumped him for another guy. Smacked to cousin C. I said, sounds like he needs a good smack. Well, there you go. C replied, yeah, he does. Or A replied, yeah, he does. So in this little couple paragraphs here, you can see the way the guy's describing it. While these young guys, they learned a few new things from him, but already a lot of fundamental things I talk about that a lot of guys didn't know when they were younger, like me, these guys know. And it's not like teenagers saying, yeah, I know that, because teenagers act like they know everything. No, they actually get some of this, what he's talking about here, which is wonderful. But even then, the problem wasn't that C hadn't heard any of this stuff. It wasn't a lack of information problem. It was an ignoring the information problem. Not much to be done about that. Though A did say that C was less gaga this time, so maybe something got in. If this cousin of yours is going back to a gal who broke up with him for another guy, yes, he needs a good smack. He's only going to have her do the same thing again. So, bro, who wrote this in, talk to cousin C. Make him understand some of these things. Send us some of my videos, and then he dumps her. Because sure enough, he takes a girl back that broke up with him for another dude, because obviously that dude didn't want her. She's going to treat him worse, and you know it. So talk to him. He says, ever since this talk, I've been watching Facebook posts, memes, and comments from the younger guys I know. To my surprise, RP-based memes and comments pop up all the time. I'm surprised at how much RP content has actually gotten to them. How much even our own woke world. It seems to be part of their thinking. Another surprise, they're very familiar with the term simp and happy to belt each other if someone's acting too much like one. There you go. See? It's popping up in the memes and they all are familiar with these things. That's great. I got 2 nephews, 19 and 22 years old, I believe they are. And these guys, they're not interested in relationships, and not because of what I do, but they're very well aware of what I do and my opinions on things. They've only become wiser because of it. I'm proud to say, as a proud uncle. But even when they were younger, before I started doing this, so they knew my opinion on things, they were interested in high school on mountain biking and rock climbing and hanging out with their bros. My one nephew is very much into making money, so I'm very proud of that. He's into working, saving his money, not pissing away on girls. And a lot of their friends are like that too. So this is really becoming more of a common thing. There's no rush to them to do a lot of things that when I was younger and a lot of other guys did when they were younger too, the relationships and all that type of stuff. They don't give a shit. And it seems like this has been going on more and more. This isn't just, where they live in that part of the country. It's happening more and more everywhere. And so that's a really good thing to hear. Young guys focusing on their grind, themselves not throwing all away for getting some girl's attention. Goes on here, says, part of my surprise at how much they seem to get is probably because when I was dating in the 90s, we were so clueless. Yes, brother, we were. And I was just like you. There were no terms, no language, any of this. Unless you had that knowledgeable dad or uncle to clue you in, you just got to bumble around the world and figure it all out for yourself. Yes, I had to learn the hard way, and believe me, I did, as did many of you bros out there. Now, even though I give smacks to guys for acting like boneheads, believe me, if I could travel back in time, I'd be smacking my younger self up the head many a times. But I learned the hard way, and this is why I do what I do, and share this information, the stories, the good common sense, practical ways of doing things, and it's helping the younger guys out. So I'm very happy to hear this, what he's reporting. He says, since I was surprised at how much RP is getting out there, I can't say I'm sure how it is getting out there. Maybe it's channels like yours. Maybe it's social media generally. Maybe it's simply watching what happened to so many guys. Maybe it's word of mouth amongst themselves. I suspect it's a combination. It's definitely a combination. There's never a real one thing. It makes sense that a lot of guys grew up with so many divorces around them, their families, other families. And they're like, I don't want to go through this bullshit. They've seen how their older brothers or anybody else have been treated by the gals. They see these gals flaunting themselves on TikTok, Instagram, and the guys are like, no thanks. They see how a lot of the young gals nowadays, thanks to the feminist movement, are acting more masculine, and it's like, they don't be dating a girl that acts like a dude. And there's plenty of other things out there. And of course, channels and YouTube and all that. It says, those who hate RP always act like it's some cult that draws unsuspecting young men in who are doing just fine, and poof, ruins them. I suspect the exact opposite. I believe young men are seeing, left and right, what's happening to relationships, to marriage, to so many men being tossed out by women who file so they become part-time dads, to so many men miserable in their marriages. These young men seek content that best provides answers to their questions, that provides a framework that explains things in a way that best matches their lived reality. In other words, RP didn't magically come from my cousins and so many other young men. My cousins came to RP because in the marketplace, these are ideas that to them make the most sense. Right. A lot of this, the RP stuff, whatever you want to call it, is really common sense. The problem is, I've learned over the years, is an amazing chunk of the population really doesn't have a whole lot of common sense. I was told by my female cousin, who knows what I do, and thinks it's cool, and respects it, and she's cool, by the way. She's like 52. No, shit, older than, how fucking old is she? 53. And she said, you talk common sense. Well, a lot of people don't like common sense because it hurts their feelings, and off we go. But yes, a lot of it just makes sense to the guys. It's common sense. It's reality. It's what they see. But again, a lot of people out there are in the business of making people believe what's not reality. So you have to question their motives. But anyhow, guys, it's a quick one, but just a report from a guy somewhere here in the world of what he's seeing. And I'm seeing this too. And I'm sure a lot of you guys there as well have observed this. So guys, things are working. Keep spreading the word. Keep helping young guys become the best they can be, aware of reality around them, not to get sucked into the Sodom and Gomorrah 2.0 world. Focus on themselves, self-improvement, being good men, building themselves up to make something of themselves in this world, and not get roped in and trapped in bad situations with the gals. Now, I'll make this clear. Not every gal out there is like a lot I cover in these stories. I'm being fair here. But a hell of a lot are. And even the good ones, there's a lot of BS that goes around, which guys have to be aware of and how to handle themselves accordingly. So it's good to hear all these things and keep spreading the word. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know, guys. Have you observed this with the young guys in your family? Maybe if you don't have any children yourself, friends of yours that have teenage sons in college, let's hear about this. Or for you young guys that watch, tell me, how did you find me? How did you find these channels? What are the young guys talking about nowadays in these? I'd really like to hear about that. Spread the word. Will be very good for the comment section to discuss and debate. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.